Hey guys, alright? Welcome everyone. Somewhere in the depths of the ocean, specifically in the Philippine Trench, a rescue team is trying to save the soldiers from a submarine that encountered severe problems and sank there. The team leader, Jonas, manages to save several of them, but the mission is interrupted when something from outside the structure starts attacking the group. Jonas is shocked to see the submarine walls being torn apart, so he quickly takes the survivors to the rescue submarine. However, he soon discovers that two of his men are trapped below. He tries to go back and help, but the external threat continues to damage the structure, and Jonas is forced to make the difficult decision of leaving his men behind and saving everyone else, as no one would survive otherwise. They leave the area as the submarine begins to implode due to the immense water pressure, causing a massive explosion beneath the ocean, narrowly escaping. 5 years later, in the city of Shanghai, a helicopter flies over the ocean and arrives at an ocean research facility known as Mana 1, located 322 kilometers off the Chinese coast. A man named Morris steps out of the helicopter and is greeted by Zhang, the director of the facility. They descend into the building, and Zhang introduces the man to his daughter Suyin, who is also the lead biologist of the research team. They eventually reach the central axis on the lower levels that provides access to the laboratories, and there Morris is impressed by the view in front of him, showcasing the vast ocean and its beautiful inhabitants, as most of the building is situated underwater. Zhang introduces all the people responsible for the current operation and reveals that Morris is the one funding the entire place. It is revealed that they are in the midst of a mission to the Mariana Trench, as they believe the channels are actually deeper than previously thought. Zhang believes that what they thought was the bottom is actually just an area covered by a layer of hydrogen sulfide, and that the true ocean floor lies even deeper, potentially hiding a new world that has never been discovered. His team, led by Captain Lori, reaches the ocean floor and, as expected, the submarine manages to break through the clouds and venture deeper into the trenches. Shortly after, they manage to penetrate the barrier and reach the true bottom of the ocean, where people are shocked to see an ecosystem filled with strange organisms unknown to humanity. Zhang explains that due to the barrier, the temperature in the area is much higher than the water above, allowing life to exist where it would otherwise be impossible. However, the team quickly realizes through radar that something gigantic has appeared and is rapidly heading towards them. The creature repeatedly collides with the submarine, causing the vessel to shake violently and the team to lose their signals as the cameras are damaged and no longer function. The group discusses their options, and the operation manager, Mac, suggests that they need to enlist his close friend, Jonas, as no one has been successful in such a deep rescue mission. Dr. Heller strongly opposes the plan, informing the team that Jonas chose to leave his men behind in the previous mission. But Mac reminds everyone that the action was necessary, as they would all have died otherwise. They travel to Thailand, where Jonas has been drowning himself in alcohol since the last mission. Mac tries to convince his friend to help them rescue their team members, but he immediately refuses, not wanting to be responsible for more lives. However, he soon changes his mind when he learns that his ex-wife, Lori, is also on the submarine, causing him to agree to this final mission. Meanwhile, the people trapped underwater manage to restore their power system and turn on the lights, but this attracts the creature's attention again, severely injuring their captain in the process and breaking the oxygen tank. Suyin realizes that her teammates are running out of time and decides to initiate the rescue alone. She says goodbye to her daughter and promises to return, giving her a strong hug, then boards the submarine and heads into the vast ocean to rescue her friends. Suyin dives deeper into the water and manages to surpass the barrier separating the trenches. She tries to move stealthily to avoid disturbing any possible hostile creatures and quickly finds her friends trapped at the bottom of the ocean. She attempts to grab the broken submarine using her hooks but is soon attacked from behind, causing her submarine to sway like a toy. The woman manages to recover from the ambush, but large tentacles quickly envelop her and begin squeezing her vessel from all sides, revealing that the creature is a giant squid. As the capsule is being destroyed, the creature unexpectedly releases it but covers the area with ink, indicating that it is trying to defend itself from something even worse than itself. Suyin realizes that there is an even more dangerous animal devouring the squid. In astonishment, she recognizes the shark as a megalodon, an ancient species presumed to be extinct. However, the shark soon turns its attention toward her and charges with great speed, aiming to destroy her submarine as well. Just before the animal collides, the megalodon alters its course and heads in the distance, where numerous flares are catching its attention. It is Jonas who has managed to arrive and is attempting to distract the creature from the people, giving Suine a chance to escape since her submarine has been damaged. While the shark is distracted by the lights, Jonas manages to dock with the damaged submarine and begins maneuvering everyone to his vessel. Before the rescue can be completed, the gigantic creature starts to return to finish the job. Realizing they don't have enough time, the last crew member pushes the others out and immediately seals the hatch, launching the rescue submarine away. He then turns on all the lights and lures the creature toward him, causing it to collide with the vessel, resulting in an explosion. Thus, he sacrifices himself and saves the lives of the others. The team manages to return to the surface, and people mourn the death of their friend. Jonas feels guilty for not being able to save the scientist as well, even though it is not his fault. Later, the group gathers to discuss the next course of action based on their discovery, but Morris is only interested in profiting from the megalodon. While people have their heated debates, Suine's daughter ventures into the lower levels to explore the area, unaware that a massive shark is approaching her from behind. The creature bites the glass and shakes the entire building, causing people to run down immediately, only to witness a giant bite mark, larger than a car. Their worst nightmare is quickly confirmed when the creature attacks and easily tears apart a whale in front of them. Realizing that the megalodon somehow breached the barrier, people theorize that when they exited the trenches, it must have given the creature an opportunity to escape its native environment. Before they can figure out what to do next, alert signals appear on their computers, indicating that multiple ships have sunk in the area, most likely victims of the creature's attack. People rush out to the ocean and eventually reach the scene, only to find nothing left except pieces of the boats. They realize they need to stop the creature before more damage can be done, but they don't have time to prepare for capture. Instead, they must prevent the shark from escaping by placing a tracker on its dorsal fin. To avoid provoking the creature and being destroyed like the other boats, Jonas volunteers to swim near the animal and attach the tracker but realizes the foolishness of the plan after jumping into the water. Fortunately, the Meg seems uninterested in devouring hairless people, completely ignoring Jonas and giving him a chance to successfully place the tracker. However, the team makes a mistake while trying to pull Jonas back, causing a sudden movement that agitates the creature, forcing Jonas to swim immediately in the other direction. People power up the boat and pull their friend away from the creature just in time, but the Meg relentlessly pursues the main character, refusing to give up. In the last moment, Jonas barely manages to escape the monster and reaches the boat, still with his life flashing before his eyes. After attaching the tracker to the animal, the team prepares to lower a shark cage into the ocean with Suine inside, using bait to lure the creature towards her in order to capture the megalodon using tranquilizers. Soon, several sharks approach the cage and surround the woman in great numbers, but the animals quickly disperse from the area as something massive draws near. Suddenly, the giant creature attacks the cage from below, knocking it down like a toy. The monster continues to assault the cage and drags the cable through the water, managing to pull the entire boat as a result. While fighting inside the shark's mouth, Suine manages to inject the tranquilizer into the creature, but the Meg refuses to give up and begins swallowing the entire cage into its stomach. Realizing that the woman is in real danger, Jonas quickly jumps into the water like a typical action hero and swims towards his friend, holding onto the cable. The shark pulls the cable even further and knocks one of the crew members into the ocean, causing the creature to go after the other person and giving Jonas a chance to save his teammate. The megalodon charges towards the surface and attacks the new target, but the woman manages to escape the attack as the creature collides with the boat. Jonas seizes the opportunity and tries to free his friend but soon realizes that his oxygen is rapidly leaking, causing the woman to lose consciousness. Eventually, he manages to open the door on the other side and pulls the unconscious girl out of the cage, which quickly sinks to the bottom. At the same time, the people on the boat set up a trap using cables and bait, luring the creature towards the blood and ensnaring it in the wires. The megalodon charges towards Jonas at dizzying speed as he tries to swim to the surface, but he is quickly hindered by the cables wrapped around his body as the shark struggles to devour Jonas and Suyin. Fortunately, the tranquilizer takes effect at the right moment and knocks down the giant monster, allowing everyone to narrowly escape. After returning to the ship, Suyin's teammates try to revive her as quickly as possible. The woman fortunately regains consciousness and begins thanking Jonas for rescuing her once again. They step out onto the deck of the ship and are amazed by the size of the prehistoric creature hanging on the boat. Jonas tries to take a picture of his colleague next to the giant monster but plays a prank on his friend by pushing him into the water. Just as they are celebrating their victory, an even larger megalodon suddenly emerges and devours the man as it leaps from the ocean and grabs the smaller meg with its jaws, landing on the boat and overturning the entire vessel, throwing everyone into the water. People desperately try to climb back to safety, and Jonas manages to save Suyin's father, but he is severely injured from the fall. They are able to retrieve the lifeboats, which provide a means of escape from that dangerous place. However, they soon realize that the megalodon is chasing them and rapidly closing in, as the creature is attracted to the movement of the boat. Fortunately, Morris is able to call for reinforcements from his staff, and they arrive just in time to save them. The soldiers deploy a tracking device on the creature's dorsal fin and continuously shoot at the water, causing the megalodon to retreat into the ocean. They finally manage to escape the danger, but they couldn't save Suyin's father, who dies in front of her, causing her to cry uncontrollably. Upon returning to headquarters, Morris informs everyone that he is shutting down the research facility until the Meg is killed. He tells the people that he is not willing to take any more risks and has informed the governments to handle the issue. In reality, the entire statement was a lie as he flies towards the giant shark with his men, attempting to kill the creature alone to avoid any potential legal responsibilities. They head towards the creature and drop numerous bombs in the water, causing massive explosions in the ocean that eventually result in a gigantic body floating to the surface. Thinking they finally killed the Meg, people approach the creature on the boat, only to see multiple sharks feasting on what appears to be a large whale. Realizing they are in great danger there, the mercenaries hurry to leave the area, accidentally leaving Morris to fall into the water, where the creature devours him in a single bite. The next morning, people realize that Morris never informed anyone about the giant sharks, which means the team must find the creature before more damage is done. They set off into the ocean while tracking the megalodon and quickly discover that the creature is heading towards a densely populated beach. They try to alert the authorities but are not taken seriously, forcing the group to take matters into their own hands as they plan to lure the shark away using whale noises and equipping their ships with weapons. On the other side, countless people are swimming near the beach like a bunch of meatballs in the water for the monster, just waiting to be devoured by the giant creature. The megalodon approaches the population and leaps towards the people, swallowing everything in its path, causing panic as everyone tries to escape for their lives. The creature continues attacking people as it advances ferociously, but suddenly changes direction upon hearing the sound of a whale in the distance. At the same time, Jonas and Suyin are waiting for the Meg on their ships, but the animal quickly arrives and begins attacking them fiercely. Jonas manages to evade the creature's bite by luring the shark away from the boat, trying to avoid being killed by navigating through underwater tunnels. He eventually leads the monster towards the woman, who shoots at the enemy but ends up missing the target and causing a massive explosion in the process. The eruption is witnessed by helicopters in the air, and they all fly towards the ship to find out what is really happening. However, the pilots are shocked to see the large creature underwater, causing them to become distracted and eventually collide with each other as they land directly on the boat. People are forced to jump into the water to escape the explosion, but now they are at risk of being devoured by the megalodon. Meanwhile, Suyin manages to attract the creature's attention and brings it towards Jonas so he can shoot, but when the man attempts to launch his weapon, the system fails at the worst possible moment, nearly costing him his life in the process as he narrowly escapes the attack. Suyin notices the people in the water, including her daughter, and is forced to rescue them immediately, leaving Jonas to fight the Meg alone while he tries to lure the creature away. The woman manages to reunite with her daughter and save the people from the water, but Jonas is quickly running out of options and decides to risk it all in a final attack. He charges blindly towards the shark at high speed and maneuvers right beneath the enemy, using the side of his ship to cut through the creature's belly, causing blood to splatter everywhere. The Meg immediately retaliates by biting the man's ship and puncturing the capsule, causing a ton of water to rapidly flood the interior. Jonas has no choice but to eject from the vessel as the creature continues to chew on the metal, giving the man a chance to approach the monster's head and thrust his weapon into its eye. The megalodon ferociously charges towards the surface and leaps out of the ocean, allowing Jonas to deliver the final blow before they both plunge back into the water. Soon after, a swarm of sharks is attracted by the Meg's blood and begins tearing the giant creature to pieces. Fortunately, Suin manages to grab the man before he becomes a meal as well and quickly pulls him away from this frenzied feeding. After being rescued by nearby people, the team celebrates their victory in killing the creature and avenging their friends who died, as the ship carries them towards the horizons where a new future begins.